Hello Legionnaires, this is Max Leal from Legion of Myth, and today I am going to talk to you about the Sky Raider discipline in the 4th edition Earthdawn role-playing game. If you have not watched my earlier videos, please be sure to watch them, especially the one titled Earthdawn Disciplines and Adepts and Overview, as it explains the nuances of what it means to be an adept who follows a discipline in the Earthdawn role-playing game. I, as always, will post a link to that video in the description below. If you enjoy this Earthdawn content, or if you desire other anime, comics, and gaming-related news and reviews, please be sure to subscribe to the Legion Myth channel, ring that bell icon to turn on notifications so you don't miss an episode, and share this video with your Earthdawn friends. As always, I will be discussing the Sky Raider discipline primarily in terms of 4th edition Earthdawn, as it is the most recent version of the game and thus the most appropriate version to discuss. Alright, let us start with the background and worldview of the Sky Raider discipline. The Sky Raider discipline was created by trolls, so many Sky Raiders are trolls. And much of the discipline has troll influences, although I'm going to refrain from using the troll language in this video. With that said, troll moots may own the clans and Sky Raiders of the Twilight Peaks, but outside of that area the Sky Raider clans are much more mixed, where there is more to being a Sky Raider than race or gender. While many outsiders believe it is falling from the sky, screaming, plundering, and taking other name-givers' property, the central tenets of a Sky Raider's life are actually personal freedom and individual responsibility. Responsibility and honor, both personal and clan, represent a Sky Raider's primary motivation. To be a Sky Raider is to be free, to be completely independent, to follow one's own desires wherever they may lead, and to be responsible to oneself, and oneself alone. The Sky Raider believes that she is responsible for everything that befalls her during her life. When circumstances beyond her control do arise, she recognizes that she is free to act and respond as she chooses. Those who blame their lot in life on fate or circumstance, rather than taking personal responsibility for their condition, are dishonorable by definition, therefore unworthy of sympathy or aid. On the other hand, a Sky Raider may honor and respect name-givers clearly striving against misfortune with all of their strength. A Sky Raider who sees the weak or underprivileged fighting to better themselves or to free themselves from the yoke of an oppressor may well devote herself wholeheartedly to their cause. A Sky Raider will follow the laws and rules they deem worthwhile, while ignoring ones they don't. In each case, a Sky Raider will take responsibility for that action. Honor is of overwhelming importance. Personal honor is paramount, followed by group honor to her crew, colleagues, or the adventuring group to which she belongs. Because of their honor and the ideology of freedom and responsibility, Sky Raiders are less motivated by particular ideologies or belief systems. They approach all decisions based on individual responsibility. Anyone who constrains a Sky Raider's freedom to act is slighting her honor. There is nothing so demeaning to a Sky Raider as surrendering her freedom of action, as Sky Raiders must remain free to follow their own judgments and take complete and total responsibility for their own lives. To forsake responsibility is to turn away from life itself. Honor requires a Sky Raider to be true to her word. An oath once given is binding. Honor is all she has when she enters the world and all she will have when she leaves it. A Sky Raider must have passion and a fire in her heart. She must relish the thought of parting the clouds. With a mighty roar, she falls from above to strike down her foe. A Sky Raider's life is hard. Initiation and training are not for the weak, and the lifestyle is ever dangerous and challenging. Life is a challenge, and she's going to attack it with everything she's got, and no Sky Raider would have it any other way. So why do Sky Raiders raid? Why do they seem to be little more than pirates, plunderers, and brigands? A Sky Raider is responsible for her own fortune, and you are responsible for yours. To a Sky Raider, you are only worthy of land, food, wealth, and life if you can protect it. Sky Raiders defend what they have, and they expect you to do the same. On the same token, Skyraider clans don't sulk when raided. A Skyraider gives respect to those who fight and fight well, friend or foe, win or lose. The greatest disrespect to oneself, and certainly the greatest disrespect a Skyraider will show you, is if you roll over and surrender. Alright, so that sounds exciting, doesn't it? Let's move on to what it means to be the Skyraider's player. What should you expect if you decide to play the Skyraider discipline? I hope you are ready to do some damage, as well as take some damage. At first circle, along with climbing and battle shout, you get fire blood. Oh yeah, baby. This is the fire and passion of the Skyraider made manifest. Standard recovery tests require you to be out of combat and resting for a full minute before you can use one. Fire blood can only be used in combat. And while it uses a recovery test, you roll your fire blood rank in addition to your toughness step. What better way to enter a fight than with second circle's Great Leap? I suppose you can also use it to board an airship, jump away from rubble about to fall on your noggin, whatever. At third circle, the Skyraider stands proud with Wound Balance. At fourth circle, Fire Heal talent represents the Skyraider perfectly. Build a bonfire, sit in it, and if it doesn't kill you, it heals you. Well, it gives you recovery tests. That which does not kill you makes you stronger, right? At fifth circle, the Skyraider no longer takes strain when using the aggressive attack combat option. She also receives the Battle Bellow talent, because Skyraiders like to be loud. At sixth circle, Steely stares the Skyraider's evil eye. She looks at you, and you know better than to mess with her. Remember when I asked if there is a better way to enter a fight than with Great Leap? Well, yeah, how about Great Leap plus the 7th circle talent Downstrike? A circle momentum attack allows the Skyraider to potentially smack her target again, poor guy. Upon reaching the Warden circles, the Skyraider attains the ability Strength of Sky. Only Skyraiders are crazy enough to get blasted by lightning or fight energy demons or who knows, drink literal energy drinks made from elemental lightning. However, doing this act of crazy allows the Skyraider to absorb the energy to raise her strength by 3, an effective +1 bonus to her strength. Oh, and damage. She also receives Burning Vigor, which increases her raw strength, not damage tests, and adds recovery tests for the use of recovery test specific talents such as Fireblood and other optional talents. 10th circle gives the Skyraider Adept Unflinching Fortitude, which adds bonuses to wound balance, while 11th circle comes with Vital Strike. Finally, second attack rounds out the Warden talents at circle 12. At 13th circle, the Skyraider becomes a master of her discipline, and apparently she becomes Zeus or Raiden as well, with the Storm Call ability. When using the aggressive attack combat option, she takes a wound, and then blasts targets in a 10-foot area with her Storm of Lightning. There are some dangers and limitations to its use, but the average Skyraider throws out those pages of the Storm Call manual. Almost anecdotally, she receives the Thunderstruck talent as well, because she really wants to be sure to knock people around like a personified hurricane. 14th circle gives the Skyraider the Vicious Wound talent, and finally at 15th circle, our Skyraider spontaneously combusts, well, her blood does anyway, with the Blood of Death's Sea. Okay, come on, even Nethermancers don't have a talent with a name that awesome. Blood of Death's Sea provides both a wound and a bonus to Fireblood. Ow! Talent options are a mix of air sailing and combat. Other people may categorize them a little differently, but that's how I see them. In Earthdawn, half magic represents discipline, pertinent knowledge, and skills a character knows or can perform simply by being an adept of the discipline. Skyraiders can use half magic for the upkeep, repair, and building of smaller ships, like the Drakkar. Knowledge of different airships, designs, and crew complements, as well as commonly followed flight paths. In order to build, channel, and control this raging storm within, a Skyraider must adhere to some fundamentals. If you remember from my overview video, disciplines are not character classes, professions, or archetypes, they are lifestyles. And while the personal vision of each Skyraider adept may differ, there are some strong personal foundations that must remain. A Skyraider may not place the responsibility for her action or her life in the hands of another, and she may not blame her actions or condition on circumstance. Relinquishing personal responsibility or doing anything to besmirch her honor will trigger a talent crisis. Ultimately, for most Skyraiders, the worst possible violation is to break an oath. Oath breaking invariably requires a deed of atonement. No variations on a theme segment today. We're not even going to build a Skyraider. Just take Windcatcher, along with all the combat-oriented talent options you can, except for Shield Bash. Equip a Poleaxe, Trollaxe, or a two-handed sword if you want, and you win! What about multi-disciplining with the Skyraider? The Skyraider's blood is always burning, so when she takes on another discipline, it's one to do something now, such as the Weaponsmith, Warrior, or Swordmaster. The idea of treading softly is alien to the Skyraider, so the Scout and Dishonorable Thief disciplines are not good fit. They also don't like to take up disciplines that delegate responsibility or rely upon outside agents such as Beastmaster, Elementalist, Nethermancer, and Wizard. Skyraiders revere two passions above all others: Locos, who is the passion of rebellion, change, and freedom, and Thystonius, who promotes personal honor and valor. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on the Skyraider discipline? If living passionately, dangerously, and on edge is your thing, this is the discipline for you. If your ideal is to play an aggressive fighter who believes the best defense is an all-out offense, this is the discipline for you. My only 4th edition complaint about the Skyraider, and to be fair, this is a 3rd edition complaint as well, is that Windcatcher should be a discipline talent. Windcatcher is way too iconic for the Skyraider discipline to not have it as a discipline talent, and it has more uses than just hopping out of airships. You may think the social disciplines, the Troubadour, Swordmaster, Weaponsmith, are the hardest to roleplay. I'd argue the Skyraider may be the most challenging. I am a role player who does his best to adhere to game canon, in whatever game I play. The game creators created the canon for a reason, so I try hard not to break it out of respect for the game and the world. The struggle with this is twofold. First is the GM who accepts the Skyraider character, and the second, the player playing the Skyraider character. For the GM, it may seem easy to, sure, you can be a Skyraider, but I ask, how? What's the Skyraider's background? How is it that this Skyraider is joining a group of adventurers and not performing death from above leaps from an airship onto unsuspecting villages? The questions are not impossible to answer, but it should take the player a moment to think about his or her own character's background. A good GM will encourage this thoughtful background without simply saying yes or no out of hand. Saying yes too quickly cheapens a discipline, and saying no removes a wonderful and iconic discipline from your game. Imaginations can come up with all sorts of reasons to be a Skyraider in need of a new clan. All I ask is that the player comes up with those reasons. Anecdotally, those reasons usually tie in with the character's personal honor code as well. Win-win! From the player's side, one of the problems I have encountered with the Skyraider discipline is the player who uses the discipline as a rationale for the Skyraider character to be nothing more than a buffoon, a bully, and or a jerk. Well, I'm a Skyraider, so I have to punch the bartender in the face for mixing up my order. Scout told me he wished he was inside the building, so I hacked through the door in broad daylight. Examples are a little over the top, but you get the meaning. First, remember, characters in Earthdawn are supposed to be heroes. Whether you play just after the Scourge, during the war with Thera, or in the current timeline, the world has enough villains. Your character doesn't have to be one of them. Secondly, the Skyraider has honor. Like discipline violations, this sort of honor can be very personal to the character, so one Skyraider isn't just a cookie cutter of another, but you cannot lose sight of the code of honor and personal responsibility side of the Skyraider. Lastly, you don't have to, nor in my opinion should you, play as one of the troll Skyraiders, the Crystal Raiders from the Twilight Peaks. Use your imagination to find another way to gather plunder and booty, other than accosting civilians. Take it from Fallen Cares, Theron, Dishonorable Conmen, Dragons, Karatas, Daenarastus, or Horrors. Find a way to ply your trade that is both meaningful to you as the player and honors the Skyraider discipline. Have fun, certainly, but do it without your character becoming a boring jerk who really isn't fun to have at the table. I love seeing the Sky Raider in action, and if you have one in your game, which I hope you do, I hope you feel the same way as well. Alright, please let me know what you think of this episode, the Sky Raider discipline, and the Earthdawn setting as a whole. We are down to 1! I will finish this series on disciplines and adepts with the Elementalist. I hope to have it done before I return to work, but we'll see about that. Please subscribe to the Legion Myth channel, ring that bell icon so you can be notified when new videos are uploaded, and share this video with your Earthdawn friends. Finally, I want to let you know about the Legion Myth weekly live stream every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/Legion of Myth. As always, see the description below for the link. Our hosts, Garthon and Heathen Dog, provide anime reviews, tabletop gaming fundamentals, comic book reviews, and other nerd topics that should interest you. Once per month, they also have a Twitch follower and subscriber giveaway. These giveaways include video game keys, Amazon gift cards, as well as both PDF and print versions of various tabletop RPGs. We may even give out more Earthdawn. You could be next! Remember, that's Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/Legion Myth. If you cannot catch them live, you can always watch their past segments on this Legion of Myth YouTube channel. And with that, I will see you next time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.